Good afternoon, everyone. So, this is the Good Volunteer segment. So, right now we have our lovely volunteers in the radio station. Also, today we have a new host, and she is Miss Dominica. And over to you, Dominica.
Hi, Osanda. Thank you. I have the honor today to welcome here, as was said many times, two lovely ladies from England named Daisy Martin and Lola Gore, who are volunteering in the Foundation of Goodness. So first, let me thank you very much for contributing your valuable time to us and making impact and influence here with your work and time and experience. So thank you very much for coming to the Foundation of Goodness. And I want to ask you a few questions about your experience, your stays, your opinion. So, do you want to say something first before we start the interview?
Well, thank you very much for having us over here. We have loved every moment. We've been here for 2 weeks, and every moment has been absolutely exceptional. The people are amazing, and we have genuinely just loved our stay here. So thank you for hosting and having us very well.
Yeah, it's been so much. We've learned so much as people, and it's been great to teach other people. But for me, I think it's just been so inspiring to see what everyone does here and how much of a change everyone's making. So thank you.
So the pleasure is on our side. And I want to ask the basic first question. How did you came across the Foundation of Goodness? What made you to choose to volunteer with us when you traveled to Sri Lanka?
So this is a question for Lola, I think.
So my grandpa is very involved with the Foundation of Goodness, Tom Seabrook. He works alongside the MCC and helps with Kashil, and they work together to make this amazing place. And without both of them, I'd love to thank both of them because they are such amazing people who have made this into the place that it is today.
Anyway, so me and Lola have been travelling, and when we decided that we were going to come to Sri Lanka, I knew about the foundation through Lola, and I thought it was too good an opportunity to come and work here and see it all for myself. So it's been really great.
And so I came here 2 years ago with all of my family. We came for my grandpa's 80th, and I saw the place firsthand, and I was like, I need to come here and volunteer. I loved it so much. The people are so friendly. The environment is just amazing. So I fell in love with it, which is why I wanted to come back and help and do it properly this time.
And also bring your friend.
And bring my friend, because she also is very interested in helping people. She's a great person, so we like to do it together.
Yeah, lovely. I think everyone who chooses to do some volunteering means it must have a good heart inside and have some values within. So let me also take a moment to thank you to your grandfather, who helped a lot by the contribution to making all the things in the Foundation of Goodness happen. And I think it's the best compliment you could give us by coming here, seeing the first time, and then come back and decide to volunteer with us. So what are the programs that you joined here? What are the classes or activities that you did?
So we did a really wide range of things when we were here for the 2 weeks, which I really enjoyed. So in the mornings, we did things like the women's empowerment. I did cooking. We worked in the special needs unit. We did lots of preschool. And then we did lots of English conversation classes every day. And then in the afternoons, we did sport. So that was netball, swimming, and cricket, which was really good fun and really interesting. Yeah, so we did a real variety of things, which just shows how much the foundation can offer to people, local people, which is really amazing.
Thank you. And I want to, do you want to also, you joined the activities mainly together, right?
Yes, we did the same. So we did, the foundation has so many different activities to offer. We only did a small portion of them. But in that, we also did loads of, such a large variety of things. Cooking, special needs units, as Daisy has mentioned. And every activity the kids and every age kind of gives their all and is so engaging in it, which is so great to see. And yeah.
So do you have, when you participate in so many different programs, do you have some highlights that you will always remember and stay with you, some moments or interaction or something you came across that will stay as a cherished memory?
I thoroughly loved the netball program. I had a great time, teaching the kids the netball, and they have such a good standards. What else? The preschool I adored. The children are so loving and kind and kind of such sweet children. So working with them, when they come, you walk into the room and their smile lights up and they come and give you a hug. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, for me, I love those. I found the swimming really great because it was these children sort of very much beginners and going and watching them improve and their confidence improve throughout the lesson really sort of was a highlight for me because I really felt like I could see them trying so hard, and eventually by the end of the lesson things like their kicking had improved, and that for me was really sort of sweet to watch and rewarding. And then I've also really enjoyed the English conversation classes. At first this is something I found quite difficult because you have lots of the people we were talking with were very shy, but it was really great to see them open up and discover things about their life which are so similar and so different to our lives. So finding those similarities and discussing what our sort of passions and what we enjoy with them and helping their English and confidence improve with their English and fluency was really one of my highlights. So yeah.
So you touched two topics I want to develop further. The first one is you both mentioned the sports activities and the preschool. I guess that's the area where the language barrier kind of disappears, right? Because you are just doing the same activities with the same passion. So you have the same opinion about it?
So we were working in a school back in England before we came here. And it's quite interesting to see, even though the language is harder with the younger children and they don't speak as much English, it's so great to show how sort of sport and activities like that have sort of breached that barrier where you don't need to have the language, and there are so many similarities between doing it at home and doing it here, and seeing how the children are just being children and you can still communicate through just playing sport with them, just has that communication that you don't need language for.
Yeah, I think you have that one love for it, the same kind of love for it, and with that love for the sport, everything else almost disappears. You just see them having fun, enjoying themselves, and I think it's just such a great thing to do and see. And also I think the kids are so grateful for us. The way they thank us at the end is amazing. It feels so rewarding as volunteers, and yeah, it's definitely a highlight for us.
Yeah, it's that fulfillment that comes from, good feelings that you did something meaningful, right? And it's appreciated greatly, I guess, not only by the children, but even by us as the Foundation of Goodness. So thank you once more. And now when you mentioned that you had a great time, we hope, would you recommend volunteering with the foundation to someone who is listening and thinking if to do the volunteering work? I guess volunteering in general, it's things that can bring much merit. So if that is what everyone should try or do in their lives, and then if you can say why, if they are thinking to do it abroad, if they listen to us in England or Australia, why it's a good idea to come to do it in Sri Lanka.
I honestly could not recommend more volunteering here. It's the bestest place. I absolutely just love it here. I literally would recommend this to anyone, anywhere in the world. The people are the most caring and grateful people. They are just honestly amazing, and the reward you get for it, volunteering, you give your time, and there's nothing that they value more than you giving your time. And so, it's such a place where you feel at home almost. We came here after travelling for 2 months, moving around different places, and we settled here for 2 weeks. And everyone has made us feel at home, and it's such a great atmosphere where everyone just wants the best for you. So honestly, it comes with 100% my highest recommendation. If you haven't booked that plane ticket, book it now.
Yeah, after being here for just 1 day of volunteering, I phoned my sister, who's in 2 years, she's going to come travelling, and I said, you have to come to Sri Lanka and you have to go volunteering at the foundation, because it's just such an amazing experience, and it's such a great, what they do is really amazing, and sort of being able to see the sort of amazing Sri Lankan culture from such a local perspective, I've also found really great, because instead of just going to the touristy areas and sort of staying in the backpackers hostels and stuff, I'm coming into a sort of local town and getting to know people. I'd walk to the beach in the morning and everyone would say hello to you and things. It's sort of such a friendly area, and I think that's part of the Sri Lankan culture in a sense of I've just really felt immersed in it, and it's been really great in that sense. So yeah, no, I would definitely recommend it.
I think hospitality is like a kind of the feeling that people get here in Sri Lanka. It's famous for, and the people feel welcomed all the time. So did you had some, I know you visited 2 years ago, but did you had some expectation when you were coming to Sri Lanka this time? And if the expectation were fulfilled or not met?
Well, I think, so we are, after this, we're doing 10 days travelling around Sri Lanka, but from my first 2 weeks here, I mean, the beauty of the country itself, like just driving down from Colombo Airport to here on the first evening that we landed here was just, I was like, wow, even from the sort of motorway, you've got the amazing views. So it was, I think the beauty's amazing, the food, the culture, I've really sort of loved it so far, and I've already promised I'm going to come back another time, because 3 weeks is not enough time to sort of explore this epic country.
I think even coming 2 years ago, I mean, it just gets better and better, doesn't it? I don't think words can really you can't really describe the place that it is and the feelings that you feel when you walk into it, let alone when you walk out. It's even better. Knowing that you've helped and made an impact and given your time. I mean, the scenery is just gorgeous. But yeah, no, Sri Lanka is, especially the foundation, it's 5-minute walk from the beach, if that. So it's such a great location as well to go into Hikkaduwa, again, a beautiful place. We've loved hanging out on the beach when we have our days off. So yeah.
Yeah, we have a saying that Sri Lanka, when you come for a visit, you love it and you will want to come again, or you won't, that there is nothing between. So I'm happy to see that you fell in love with Sri Lanka, but not only the country, but the culture and food and all that comes with. So we are happy to know and always happy to welcome you here again. And during your stay also, you had the opportunity to listen a Buddhist sermon one evening. So how was that experience for you? Because that's also part of the Sri Lankan culture and the good values we have here in the foundation.
I mean, absolutely. I messaged my mum straight away saying, wow, I've just listened to the most incredible talk of... I actually walked... sorry. I said after, I've never learnt so much in an hour of a speech. You know, you listen to speeches at school and you almost fall asleep. But this one was different. I was engaged the whole time. It was absolutely incredible, and thank you to Kushil for organising. I wrote down some life lessons which I learnt from him, mostly about happiness. And yeah, I actually said to Daisy after, I said, I don't know what to say because I have to process it, because I just learnt so much and it was so inspirational. I loved it every moment. So thank you.
Yeah, it really teaches you sort of the values that he was speaking about of happiness and reaching that happiness, and the selflessness of it really comes through in the Sri Lankan culture and the Buddhist culture, and I really found it inspiring to listen to, and with such a large group of people in a beautiful sort of area, just all together listening and learning and reflecting, I found it really sort of a great opportunity to sort of think about how grateful I am for things that we've done and how I can give more, and the whole idea of goodness to others being a foundation for happiness on yourself. And I found it, it was really good.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to hear your feedback.
We said after we're going to go back and watch some of his videos because we were so inspired. We want to hear even more as to what he says.
Yeah, and he told also, I will be happy that even 1 or 2 person after hearing this will try to follow what I shared, what he shared with us. So I'm happy to know that you will do that too. Yeah. And when you look at this global situation now, or in your country, and now having the experience with volunteering with us, with the Foundation of Goodness, do you think the society as such, there are some values that could be more practiced, more promoted to make world a better place for everyone?
I think it's so easy to find the negatives in, if you're back home, for example, it's easy to find stuff to be sad about. But here, everyone is happy. Even the little things, and I think that's so important to take home. Just be happy for what you have, be grateful, and just take in every opportunity that you have, because you never know what's around the next corner.
Yeah, I was going to sort of say along the same lines, the whole idea of that sort of lifestyle, like not need to have much to make the most of it, and the lack of, you don't need the sort of best resources to play the best game of cricket, or like the example of the bat refurbishment schemes and stuff. It's that sort of making the small things into big things, and that I think that really was a sort of great lesson that everyone needs to.
Yeah, so I can share the line he mentioned. He told that some people are so poor that all they have is money, right? Meaning that money can give you some pleasure, but can't give you the contentment on the inner true happiness. So my question, next one, is when we are going around this topic, is there something that you will bring to your home from this experience in the volunteering with the Foundation of Goodness? Is there something you guess will affect how you look at life going forward?
Well, I think I'll take things a lot more slow. I think quite often I like to look at the negatives and rush things, but I think there's a great deal to be learnt from the whole sort of idea of just taking life as it comes very slowly and a lot more, rather than worrying about the next thing. I think it's been a great opportunity for me to slow down and reflect on all sort of about my life, and rather than worrying about the next thing, just sort of being in the moment. Sorry, that doesn't really make sense.
It does.
It's a great question. I think a couple of things for me. Firstly, in his speech, for example, he said about not if you point the finger at one person, you have three fingers pointing back at you. The idea of not blaming others if you're in a bad mood, for example. And the second thing, I think, was just being grateful and happy for what you have, as I mentioned earlier. You always look at, I want this, I want that. But actually, take a step back, look at what you have, and be grateful and happy that you've got that. I think that's the most important thing. And smiling. Everyone here smiles, and honestly, when everyone else smiles, I smile, which means that I think it's just so important that, if I'm smiling, it puts other people in a better mood. So I think the main thing is keep smiling, be happy.
smiling's a really good point in a sense of it's one of those things that I've really learnt to do, because quite often when you can't communicate with someone because of the language barrier, you can at least communicate through a smile. And I think that's why the foundation feels so special, because it's just, it's the smiles.
It's a smiley place.
I think that's the perfect note for me to hand over the microphone back to Osanda, that we finish on the line that just keep smiling and you will feel better. And if you feel good, you can spread your joy with others too, right? First, you need to be happy yourself to make others happy. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and experience with us and with me. And I will give word to Osanda, who maybe can have some more interesting questions for you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I have to ask a question. It is, so you guys, everyone love the culture and everything in Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
So have you in your 2 weeks stay for here, have you traveled around Sri Lanka?
So in the 2 weeks we have, at the weekends, we've been to Gul Fort, we went to Unawatuna, and we've also been around Hikkaduwa. And in those travelling around, we got the train to Gul, and it's just such I'm so excited to travel the rest of it, because even seeing these places nearby the foundation have been really great. So
So we are going to Hirakatia next, and then we are going up to Ella. And honestly, seeing all of these places, so I've been to Sri Lanka before, and although I've seen some of the places, the fact that I want to go back and see them again, see them for a different perspective through travelling, shows that how beautiful of a country it is. And we've been to Hikkaduwa, we've travelled around, locally around here, and honestly, the beaches are stunning. You can't get many better beaches, I don't think. The palm trees, we love the palm trees. Special shout out to Your Choice, amazing restaurant, which definitely needs recognition. They've looked after us amazingly.
So thank you Daisy and Lola for sharing all with us. And thank you to everyone who listened. And the final note that we want to share with you is keep smiling and come to volunteer with the Foundation of Goodness.
Thank you so much for having us. It's honestly been the most incredible 2 weeks, and definitely a highlight for us. And honestly, we're so grateful to have been welcomed here so amazingly, and we are 100% would love to come back. You'll find me back here, I promise. And then also thank you to everyone around us, because you've honestly been outstanding in looking after us and making this into such a smiley place.
Yeah, thank you.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the Good Volunteer program, and see you next week with some amazing volunteers. Thank you everyone for coming.